Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
Sorry there, it's me. Hey. How you doing? It's me.
Who?
It's me. You know
Who
what?
is this?
There I often I'm waving. You see,
Okay.
I'm waving.
Okay.
I'm often waving.
Right.
I'm famous for it.
Right.
I'm famous for it, of course.
Right.
Waving away.
What do you want?
Waving away.
What do you
see?
want?
It's made me famous, very big on Twitter, but I'm a player in my own right. Of course.
All right. Who are you?
Because it's me, Dele.
Oh.
Dele Alli.
Oh, right, Dele. How are
Yeah,
you?
and yeah.
How you doing, Dele?
I'm calling you, of course, today.
Yes.
You know, great season we're having.
Yeah.
Loving it at Spurs. Had some great games against Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Great games for the team. Great games for the Tottenham Hotspurs. Me playing my best.
Yes.
But I've got a problem.
Right.
Huge problem. That's why I'm calling you Divers Anonymous.
I'm not.
Because I have a problem. I am a compulsive diver, and it needs to stop.
Okay. When
Would
you like
you
to...
have any advice on my compulsive diving?
Well, I don't
it's
think
becoming a problem.
I don't actually think you've got that big of a problem. I think perhaps society has a problem. You shouldn't change yourself.
Well,
Love yourself.
I do love myself regularly.
Exactly.
Others do as well, allegedly.
All right, let's talk about this.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. You are a weird man, aren't you?
Saying weird. That's the way he sounds like. He sounds exactly like that.
I loved it. He does. He does like
He's from Milton Keynes.
the guy. What's his name? The Jazz on Farce.
Yeah,
the Jazz Club.
Yeah, that was based on Dele Alli.
Brilliant.
Dele Alli is a serial diver. Welcome
do
to
you
the
think-
One for the Weekend podcast. He's got a problem. He's got a massive problem.
Apologies for the jackets if you can see this on our
that.
YouTube channel.
I look great.
No, it's freezing out. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
The beast from the east has come to get us, and it
Big
has been freezing.
What does the beast from the east look like? I think everyone's got the same picture in their mind. Topless, shaved head,
Right.
tattoos, fat.
Really?
If the beast from the east was a person.
No, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. Really, it's just freezing.
It's just sort of
Yeah, Dele Alli's he's not a diver.
You laughed as you said it.
Yeah, he loves a little dive. I think there's a problem here with the wider footballing community.
Good luck. Go on. Try and convince people that Dele Alli's not a diver, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Give me an instance where he's dived, and I'll show you 5 where he hasn't and not got penalty.
Well, that's hypothetical because you're not going to show me.
So
that.
Van
We're gonna put that in.
Arnold going through him.
Going
for
through him?
Yeah, the Palace. He went through him at the back.
Wow.
And his legs collapsed. That was a penalty.
Mate.
The
You're supposed to be like old school.
Against Rochdale, penalty. Look, the thing is, James, right, is that you're asking me to be you're asking me to be principled about football. I don't care about your football. I don't care about other people's football.
It's
I don't,
our football.
No, it
And he's
isn't
ruining
ours.
it.
You can keep it. I care about Tottenham. Right, that's it.
Would
Right?
you?
I don't care if you're enjoying watching Spurs play. I'm loving it. That's all that matters.
Champions League final.
Yes.
Right. You're playing. I can't say Borussia Dortmund. Damn. Real Madrid. Playing Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Right. 89th minute.
Yes.
Dele goes through.
Yeah.
Horrific dive.
Yes.
Clearly a dive, but there's no VAR, which we'll get onto later in this podcast.
Yeah.
You win the Champions League like that.
Yes.
Is that what you want?
Not what I
Is
want.
that what you want?
But I would bloody
you
take it. Of course I would. Of course you would.
Have I told you about my?
I mean, you're not going to get in Champions League final. You might get, relegation dogfight.
Don't know that.
Right?
You don't know.
Relegation.
Playoffs.
All right, playoffs. No, relegation dogfight. And Furlong, lovely little right back. Keep an eye on him.
Paul Furlong's son. Paul Furlong, of course, has the smallest ears in football.
Hot prospect. Hot prospect. It'd be considered on Football Manager.
Hot prospect.
And he goes through and he hacks him down. You take it because football isn't about being fair and good.
So you know what I do? Throughout university, I was trying to win the Euros on PES 6 with my good friend Craig, right? Yeah. And we tried and we got close. We got so close. And then right after about 3 years of trying it, we got in the final against Italy.
Yes.
And it was extra time and we were winning. Right?
How nervous was you?
Mate, it was mental. You know when you're playing standing up? You got to play because I can't sit down anymore. It was years of work we put into this. And then a ball comes over the top. And Craig goes to me, take him out. This is to win it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't take him out. I can't win that way. We've worked too hard to get to this point. And And he's like, take him! Screaming at me. Imagine it in slow-mo. He's like, take him out! And I was like, I can't do it.
Your ethics wouldn't allow you.
And I didn't. And he scored.
Do you know what that's called? You know what the right-wing Twitter would call you?
Go on.
Snowflake.
Well, very fitting with the current climate.
Snowflakes are very beautiful.
There's ways of doing things. And we went on and won it with David Beckham scoring the winning penalty, and it was glorious.
Right.
After the Chinese buffet. But that's another story. But my point is that, let's talk about Dele Alli. He's got a problem. He literally has a problem now. He can't stand up.
Yeah.
It's in his mind to dive. Like more, not in a way that like, I don't know, like Maradona or other players who can dive with a bit of like panache can do. It's just shit diving.
Okay, look, let me tell you where I'm at, right? Let me tell you where I'm at. I don't like it. I don't like watching my players dive.
But I'll have to go along with it.
It's similar. I don't like it, but I have to go along with it. I don't like the simulation, right? I don't like them trying to con the ref. I don't like the name of Tottenham Hotspur being associated with cheating. I don't like any of that. But I like winning more. That's honestly where I am. I'm willing to go along with it if it means we end up with something at the end.
Dangerous.
I just...
Dangerous times.
Look, for so long, Spurs have been known as a powder puff... powder puff football club.
Apologies to anyone offended by that.
Yeah, that was clearly a slip of the tongue. No, look, for a long time we've been considered to be a soft underbelly, you know, to be an easy team. Now we're not. People are winding people up. But we're winding people up. And you know why we're winding people up?
Because you're quite good at football.
Because we're threat now. We're a threat. It used to be like mediocre, you know, football club. No, we can take the piss out of them because they're rubbish. We're not rubbish anymore, and it's winding people up. That's the real problem here.
Okay, let's know your thoughts on Dele Alli. Has he got? Is he? For me, it's the equivalent of someone who's a compulsive liar. They're almost aware of what they're doing, and they want. I think maybe there's an aspect of him that probably wants to stop, but it's got to a point where Dele Alli can't stop diving. That's my opinion on it. Let me know yours in the comments below. This is one for the weekend. The podcast to get you started. He's double jacketed. if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this right now on the Longboard Street channel. Flav is double jacketed, and he's unzipped the first jacket. People think they're going to get a nice little show of flesh, and it's another jacket, and then he does it again.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Liverpool versus Newcastle briefly. There's so much to talk about here. Some bits might not make it, but definites that will make it. Our soldiers lost in battle. We need more soldiers lost in battle stories, by the way. Those were the days. We'll be here. We'll talk about VAR. We're going to talk about who's going to hit 30 goals first out of the top 3 strikers in the Premier League.
Right.
Those were the days, and I've got a little surprise for you.
Have you?
I've got some new music. It's not a bit. It's not a long-running bit. It's a once-in-a-lifetime bit that you can enjoy.
Do we get the result of whether or not we're more or less stat nuggets?
And will stat nuggets survive?
I hope not.
Find out by sticking around and watching the rest of this podcast, or listen to it on iTunes. Let's go Liverpool Newcastle. Let's go straight into it. Okay.
All right.
Liverpool. This is a game that always makes people smile. I think. Liverpool Newcastle.
I mean, you have great fond memories. It's kind of classic Premier League era, isn't it? Like
yeah.
Collymore
and Rafa Benitez going back to Liverpool makes it. It's not spicy.
Can't wait for that loving.
Yeah. How do you think they'll react to it?
They'll love him. They do love him. I mean, and so they should. He was a great manager, great fit, similar to that Klopp, fit for Liverpool. You can understand why it all works. Benitez did some incredible stuff. Nearly won the league, probably with a lesser team than Rodgers had, and nearly won the league. But as we know, it fell apart so often. It did when teams were going up against Man United. But he'll get a massive. What would you say? Reaction. Yeah, there'd be like cops singing his name and all that stuff.
And what are your general feelings about that? About ex-players coming back, how you should behave towards them? Is it a blanket rule? Because look, the fighting cock, love the shirt, not the guy in it.
Yeah.
When players come back, is it based on what they did for the club, or should you be just hollering and booing because they're the enemy?
It just depends on how they left the relationship. Like, do you know a weird one? If Bale came back, he'd probably get an applause despite forcing his way out of the football club. Modric would get a smattering of applause because of how good he was when he was there. But typically, it's about how well they wore the shirt and what they did in it and how much effort they give. Like, the biggest round of applause that you probably give to a returning player of the sort of fringe players, not the kind of clubmen, is like Stefan Freund. Terrible. horrendous Champions League winner, right? Terrible Champions
League winner.
Yeah, he was with Dortmund.
One of the worst.
But just worked his arse off, just ran and died for the cause, and it weren't like I think he knew he weren't good enough, and he knew he had to overcompensate with effort. And it wasn't his fault that he was getting picked.
Yeah.
But whenever he did, he give it some.
We had Sean Derry in the office for another show with another betting brand, which we won't reveal because it's family. Get it? It's family. Yeah. But Sean Derry was there, who's a QPR legend, and he was a defensive midfielder. And I always think, if you're loved as a defensive midfielder, you've done really well.
Yeah.
Because it's the defensive midfielders that never have a song. Generally, unless you're truly loved, and so for Stefan Freund to have done that as well,
yeah,
but
also by the same token, the game as it is, but it used to be like a position of steel. You know, your defensive midfielder was rock hard, but now he's kind of like sensible. He can read the game in a way that most players can't. He position himself, not fancied, but back in the day, like Graham Robertson, you know, even like. Eric Dyer, to some degree, I guess, after the Battle of the Bridge last season, if people remember, where Spurs should have had about 80%.
2 seasons ago now, mate.
Was it?
Yeah,
Jesus.
a long time ago.
Getting old.
What's the biggest boo that's come that you've given to an ex-player, that your team has given to an ex-player?
Sol Campbell. It was,
oh, God, yeah.
Mate, that I can't... His return to White Hart Lane was insane. It weren't like football. It was like we was in the middle of some massive kind of war zone. It was insane. Like, people were losing their shit.
With perfectly cut grass.
I mean, outside. This is outside. But like you know, when no one cares when the bus comes in of the opposing players, you go a few wanker signs or whatever like that. There was at least 1,000 people waiting for him, throwing everything they could, like slippers and trainers, and like for someone threw their shoe. For someone threw their shoe at the bus, they lost themselves, and that, and he deserved it. I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think for us. I don't think. Someone will have to remind me. I don't think it's too bad. David Seaman just get a little bit, because he went to Arsenal. But I mean,
he played for QPR,
really. Yeah, there's not really anyone that got it too bad. I don't think. No. Anyway, so yeah, Liverpool, Newcastle. Benitez hasn't lost going back to Liverpool, playing Liverpool for any other team that
he's definitely going to lose this one.
But you think he's definitely going to lose this
yeah.
one? They need a win because it's so tight down there. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's only the only interesting thing about the league now, isn't it, really?
Down the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can... Well, and it's... Do you know what? It's interesting, but it's utter torture when you're down there.
Is it?
It's horrible, You remember? Yeah, Klinsmann rocked up and go, I'll save you all.
Yeah, but I do remember.
Smash 4 against
he did. I do remember, but I never believed that we were in danger.
Did you not?
Not really, no.
It's any fan of a team that is down there regularly, it puts you in knots. It's like a mix of relief and joy when you win a game.
What is it you wanted? What does it matter if you go down there? If you go down to another
you just want to do well, don't you? In the microcosm of every single game of football, you want to do well.
You're so far from that one season in Europe just that you long for, kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're going backwards and you're not going forwards. So it's one of mine.
But then the further you go back, the easier it is to go forward. In a way.
But you'll never be as far forward as you were at that moment in time.
True.
Nice. Trivia. Last week we asked you the question: who were the last 5 Englishmen to win the Premier League Manager of the Month award?
Yes.
No one got it, Flav.
It was really hard.
But what I did appreciate after last week's chat about the quiz equivalent of steroids, Google, not being used.
Yeah.
I think generally it was nice to read answers that were wrong, because I was like, you've done it with integrity.
Generally,
you've done it with it.
Yeah. Generally, people want to. It's like you didn't chop the computer player down. You didn't want to win that way.
Yeah. You're one of me, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Last week the answer was the last 5 Englishmen to win it: Eddie Howe in January of this year and March 2017. Paul Clement, remember him? Swansea City, January last year.
Yeah.
Carvajal probably a bit gutted he didn't win it. January or February.
Should have done.
Mike Phelan was the one that people didn't get. For Hull City, August 2016. Do you remember? They beat Man United, and then went pretty badly after that. And there's an amazing picture of Mike Phelan with 2 perfect. He's at West Ham away. There's 2 perfect bubbles over his eyes. It's quality, and he's got a bit of a bubble head, so it's nice. So yeah, you can Google that. Nigel Pearson, Leicester City, April 2015. After he kept them up, people forget that. Did very well with him. And Alan Pardew, back in November.
It's just
2014.
not just shows you how bad English managers are.
Bad or what? I mean, the lack of English managers winning the award.
Well, if
Since 2014, there's only 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's bad,
The
yeah.
lack of, the lack of, and and the reason why that isn't the case is because we're not as good as other nations.
I think that's a blanket comment that is incorrect.
Well, it isn't blanket. There's a stat here. 5 managers since November 2014.
Speaking of which, actually, stick around as well. We'll be going to room 69 for the very first time. That is a bit that will stick around. Flav is going to be, if you need lifting up, if you need your spirits lifting up, Flav has created a room called Room 69 where he wants to put people where they can just give up.
Just go away.
Just go away.
Yeah.
And he will be revealing his first one on today's podcast, so stick around for that. This week's trivia question is, which 4 players, because we're going to be talking about goal scorers in today's pod, which 4 players scored Premier League hat-tricks but were on the losing team?
Oh,
Good question, this one.
Is one of them Les Ferdinand?
No. Les Ferdinand did score 7 goals in a week once. Back-to-back hat-tricks and then a goal against Leeds.
Right,
Incredible stuff around the bank holiday. But yeah, and they're all this is one for the mid-table fans out there. All for teams that are kind of mid-table sides. So get your answers in the comments below. If you get it correct, don't Google it. If you get it correct, then we will we'll give you a pat on the back and a shout out on next week's One for the Weekend podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Fan League. 10 grand you can win if you can get 13 out of 13. I've forgotten to do the bits for where we are this week, but I know I got 5 out of 13, so essentially
I got 6.
feel free to call me a mug.
Yeah, mug.
Yeah.
The link is in the download. In the description below. Join the One for the Weekend League. Sorry, what's wrong with me? Add James Alcott as a friend, and he'll let you in, won't he?
Yeah, if that was taken on its own, just like in the middle of a YouTube just branded content going, just make him your friend, will you? Like, that would look bad out of context.
Add me, because then you get free credits. When you recruit someone, you get free credits, so you don't have to pay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, you get the free credit.
I get some, yeah.
Oh, really?
And the people you recruit, you get some as well.
And you can play for just 20p, and you can win good money. So get involved. We've got over 100 people in our league now,
Yep.
which is good. Well over 100. So come and get involved, especially if you're good, because we want good people, not bad.
We're on the podcast. We pass ourselves off as knowing something about this and how to play the game, and now and we're ranked around 100.
I think it's even worse than that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So yeah. So big question.
What?
Everyone's been thinking about it. Flames. Yeah, are they the best podcasting team out there? No. But the question of the rift between me, a stat nugget lover. Oh, he's going again. You zip it up again.
Just getting warm, actually.
Right. It's getting warm now. A stat nugget lover, and you, a stat nugget hater.
Right. So last week, if you didn't listen or didn't see on YouTube, we decided to figure out whether or not we would continue with this atrocity that is stat nuggets. This is a section of the podcast where James just reads out stats that mean nothing to anything. That have no value at all. And what we did, we asked people to put in the comments, yes,
more nuggets.
Yes, more nuggets, please, or no more nuggets for me.
Yeah, it's a very polite way of having a poll.
Yeah.
And the results are in. There was a wave of support, which I really do appreciate on Twitter as well. Apart from the guy who put my face on a baby in a nappy next to some chicken nuggets.
But what did you do that night?
I bought 20 nuggets.
He bought 20 nuggets for himself.
And I got the 4 dips. I went, one of each, please. And I got them out and I opened up one by one and I just went, nugget, dip, eat. Nugget, next dip, eat. And when you got 20, you don't have to go, I'll have half the nugget, then the full nugget. Go, wallop.
And what
smash bag wallop, what a nugget.
What nugget? What number nugget did you get to start self-loathing, start setting in?
About 13, 14.
And did you finish with 20?
Yeah. Got to plough forward, lads. That's something that I've always been good at, is going, I don't really want any more of this. Doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
You finish what's
on your plate. Yeah, because there's a lot of hungry people out there.
Yeah.
And you finish none of this, and people that eat toast and leave all the crust.
Mugs.
Yeah.
But everyone knows you grow more if you eat your crusts.
Yeah. I mean, there's no like actual proper cases. Oddballs sit there. They'll eat the bread as a grown man or woman, and leave the crust. Let us know in the comments below. Do you leave the crust? And if you do,
what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Explain what's wrong with you, because there's something odd going on. Yeah. Maybe it's the way you're brought up. And then unsubscribe.
Do you know what, I'm doing Great Touch for a Big Lad, our podcast later, and something that we're going to talk about is stuff that makes you suspicious of people. And I think that's one of them. People that don't eat the crust.
People that stand too close to you.
But
there's plenty of space.
Stat Nuggets are here to stay, Flav. Woo!
All right.
Woo! Happy days, mate. And to celebrate that fact, I've created a new jingle for Stat Nuggets.
Have you?
Yeah. I love it. I want to hug it. It's Stat Nuggets.
That's not... Where's the music?
All right, I'll sing it again. I love it. I want to hug it. It's Stat Nuggets. Let's go. No player has scored more goals as a substitute this season than Everton's Umar Niasse. Coming off the bench, so he's a threat.
They actually digging him out for a while, didn't he?
Ped was
hates him.
He was verging on bullying at one stage, and he has turned it around. They've got Burnley this weekend, and so that's a lovely little stat nugget, despite your apathy towards it, to suggest that.
It's not
oh,
apathy.
hang on,
I hate him.
Niasse's coming on. Maybe that's worth a bet.
All right, what's the next one?
Okay. 4 level with Anthony Martial.
Who cares? Next one.
I'm just saying, he's an option off. You can go. He's an option off the bench. This is great stuff, guys. Stick with me. The Toffees have won the fewest percentage of their Premier League points this season away from home, 24%.
They are toilet.
8 points out of 34.
They're terrible for. Right?
So with your fan league picks,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, not going Everton. I'm going to go Burnley. Hang on there. Stat nugget here to save the day. While Burnley have won the lowest percentage in home matches, 51%. Difficult. So maybe that's worth a half hedge.
Definitely worth a harsh edge. I'll be all over that.
Leicester have lost just one of their last 8 Premier League home matches. Well, I'll definitely be going for them, won't I, this week?
Yeah.
However, they're playing Bournemouth. And 11 of Bournemouth's last 12 goals have come in the second half, with 8 of them arriving in the 70th minute. So that means you'll be going, oh, Leicester, they're going to win this game. Gone off too quick there. They're going to win this game. Hang on, Bournemouth are banging in the goals. Especially in the second half, so just be careful. Maybe one to cash out on.
How's their away form? Where's that in your stat nuggets?
They're good. Doing well. Stoke City have won their last 2 league visits to St Mary's, both by a 1-0 scoreline. Interesting. Peter Crouch has scored 12 goals in 53 Premier League matches against sides he once played for in the competition, which means he's more likely to score goals against Southampton, who he's playing this weekend.
Well, he's not more likely because it's only 33%, isn't it? So he's less likely.
It's just
these 66%.
Again, you're in the pub, right? Oh, Crouch has scored, has he? Oh, Crouch has scored, has he? You want me to... Stat nugget in your face, okay? Huddersfield have the chance to secure a 3rd successive Premier League victory for the first time this season. They last achieved that in the top flight campaign in April 1956. Do you remember that?
No. Huddersfield are playing Spurs.
This weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Good luck with that.
No, not going to happen.
Good luck with that.
At Wembley. And 4, last stat nugget for the week. I know, you're devastated. 4 of West Brom's last 5 Premier League goals have come from corners, assisted by Chris Brunt. Interesting in itself. The Northern Irishman has provided the most assists among players yet to score themselves. Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Mate, take it in. This is quality stuff you can relay.
I'm looking for a question someone sent in that's better than this shit.
Let's talk about VR.
There's a... Go on then.
I'm proud of VR, Flav.
What?
Proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Do you say this stuff just to wind me up?
I'm not. Mate.
Are you? Because the first thing you said to me when I came in on Monday morning was that Dele Alli is diver.
Well, he is
you didn't even say hello. You said Dele Alli, what's a scumbag?
Because it's on you.
It's not on me.
As a Spurs fan, you guys need to
now
get
you're
together.
saying you're proud of VAR. No one in the world of football, apart from refs, are saying proud of VAR at a moment. Don't say VAR either, that's not what it's called.
Is it not VAR? It's VAR, right. I'm proud of VAR, and I'll tell you for why.
What's that?
The reason why I'm proud of it is because for years and years and years, people have gone, we should try this. Everyone has said that. Everyone said there needs to be technology, right? They've given it a go. Right. And that is to be applauded. Right? You shouldn't be using the sport as like a little plaything. But they've tried it. They're trialling it. That's what this is for.
Trial it in some like League 2. Trial it there.
Did you say tits?
No, I say Tin Pot League.
Right.
Tit
leagues.
Like try it there. Not like when there's huge amounts of pressure on. Like managers losing their jobs.
But they have done that as well. And then, the next stage of that is you have to move it forward into actual competitive games. And so for that fact, I like the fact that they're trying to do it. It's quite glaring what's wrong with it. And do you know what Pochettino said, which I think is spot on, is that it takes away the emotion of football.
Yeah.
I don't think you realise that unless you test this out.
Right, we try it, we realise it, now get rid of it.
I agree. So yeah, I agree with that. I think like with tennis, it's in or it's out.
Yeah.
With football, it's just there's so much opinion involved.
Look, if they'd done VAR right and they got it right every single time, that you can't understand it. And you know, over time they'll get quicker and it'll be less kind of intrusive in the game. But they're not getting it right.
Yeah,
they're getting it right probably most of the time, to be fair. But you got to get it right every time.
Yeah,
and so much of it is about opinion. No, that goal, Spurs versus Rochdale, the first goal. There was a foul on Llorente. No, Llorente fouled the guy, and Lamela put it in.
Didn't.
He didn't. They had hold of each other's shirts, so it was 50-50, you would say. And if you actually really wanted to take it back a step further, the guy had Llorente's shirt first, so it should have been a penalty. So what I'm saying is that there's lots of arguments.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm pleased that they're not stubborn enough not to try things.
Yeah, I get that.
And in 3 years' time now, well, hopefully we'll go, God, do you remember when we tried VAR? It was a mess.
But the thing is, in some countries, like in Germany, it works to some degree because they have the people that are intelligent enough to get it right. You know, in the MLS, I think they've got it there as well. But I was listening to a guy on. Yeah, it's a mess. Similar to that, I think they're close to pulling out of it completely. Right. But there was a guy on the radio this morning, and he was talking about that he's a commentator. And he said, you go through games and you wouldn't even think about it. They don't hear about it. Yeah. It's supposed to be clear and concise. Or there's been a clear issue, not a kind of dubious thing. And you got some freaking power hungry guy in the room in Heathrow or wherever the fuck he's sitting, and then he's buzzing the ref every 2 minutes. And the ref's probably thinking, "Oh mate, do me a favour,
snitch."
But if he's buzzing and he doesn't react to it, he's on the line.
Yeah,
it's nonsense. It's just boring. It makes the game boring. I was so furious last night. Like Spurs got a penalty through VAR.
Yeah,
that wasn't a penalty in my opinion. The foul happened and it sort of carried on into the box.
Yeah. Trippier, yeah.
It's not, and I get that might be the rule, but it was just like I didn't even want the penalty.
Yeah,
because it ruined the flow of the game. It ruined the enjoyment. There was a Rochdale fan on the radio also this morning, and he said we didn't have a clue
Do the accent.
I can't
thought about it. I just wanted you to think of it.
He's a Rochdale fan. A Rochdale fan from Rochdale. Is that right?
No.
Well, what's the Yorkshire accent?
Manchester, isn't it?
What's Manchester? How's the Yorkshire accent go?
You just.
You're at Rochdale. He went down to Wembley. Went down to watch his team play football, and it got fucking ruined by VAR. Anyway, look, he was saying like none of them know what's going on. You have the managers of both football clubs looking, their arms in the air, going, "What is going on?" You got players playing in -2, -3, and standing still for 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Cramp, injury, all of it. It's nonsense, absolute bollocks. Get it out of the game. It's bollocks.
Yeah. I agree. As I said, I'm pleased that they've tried it. You've seen it's not working, and it's taking away what is the most exciting aspect of football, which is that moment where it's a goal and you know it's a goal. You don't have to go. Like imagine Champions League final. It's like Beckham with the corner. They need to score now, otherwise they're out. The treble is off. He's gone in. Sheringham, Schulzer, he's done it.
Yeah.
Oh, has he done? Hang on. Sorry, wait a second. Gonna have to go to. No, he's gone to VR.
Hang on a minute. Give me a second.
Give
me a second.
Any second now.
Give me a second.
Wasn't a goal. Wasn't a goal. There was an infringement in the box.
Well, there's supposed to be like
dead in it.
2 ways there.
Oh, sorry.
I was trying to help. I was trying to help part of your skit.
Sorry, mate.
That would have been good.
Tilsley did it at the time, but yeah. Anyway. But all those moments are done. Like
I know it's ruining it. It's ruining it, and I'm literally. I don't want to be one of these reactive people. I try my hardest to stay calm and just think about the positives and it could have a positive benefit in the game. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, if I can't have that moment of explosion of joy, that's all I live for with football. It's the best feeling in the world. It's better than sex. It's better than anything I've been involved in my entire life, and I've had a lot of fun in my life, right? But there's nothing compares to the moment that ball hits the net when we're playing Arsenal or whoever your rival's going to be. You can't compare it. You can't explain to people how good it feels.
No.
And that will be removed because someone wants to get everything right. It's more important to have an emotional game. When was football ever sold as this thing where, well, we get everything right? Come and watch it on Sky Sports. We're paying £80 billion for the Premier League rights. Come and watch it. We get everything right. Or do they go, the most explosive, passionate football league in the world? That's what they say. But it won't be, because we want to get everything right.
And people won't go to games if there's such confusion, because one, well, at least I can understand what's going on if I watch it at home, and secondly, like you said, what keeps you coming back are those
drama,
are those goals. But those goals in the stadium when you're all going mad, you're just pushing someone for no reason, or you're grabbing someone's head or whatever.
Yeah, you know this expression limbs, right? It's been going around for a couple of years. Ball goes in and they'll go limbs, because it just get proper limbs in. The arms are going fucking. You lose yourself for a moment. Football's always been about removing yourself from the problems you have in life, and for 90 minutes you lose it. You don't think about anything else but what's happening on the pitch, and that's going to be taken because they want to get it right. It's more important. There's more important things in football than results.
And importantly, what we're seeing is you can't get it right.
It's impossible.
You can't get it right.
Subjective.
Now we know. That's cool. Right, let's have a debate about it for the rest of time. That's fine. We've got this far. It's cool. Right, let's move forward. So we'll see what happens with VAR, whatever. Isn't it going to be in the World Cup?
I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah,
I really hope not. I heard my feeling is that they're not going to use it. I've heard the rumour.
Right.
So Google it if you want to know the answer to that.
Rumour?
Someone said it in the office yesterday.
Oh, right.
They're saying that they're going to pull it out.
So consider this. Over 25 Premier League seasons featuring hundreds of centre forwards.
Yeah.
Okay? But the magical 30 goal mark has only been breached 9 times. This isn't a trivia question.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you. By 6 men.
So 30 Premier League goals.
30 Premier League goals. So Kane, of course, 29 is the best he's done.
All right.
Andy Cole, Henry, Kevin Phillips. Can you guess any?
Shearer. Fowler. Owen.
No.
Um,
I'll tell you. Ronaldo, Van Persie, and Suarez.
Oh, yeah.
Rooney, Drogba, Van Nistelrooy, Fowler, Owen, Andy, and Wright never managed it.
Yeah. I think it's just very difficult thing to do. The Premier League is such a difficult league to score in. It always has been, and you've only got 38 games to do it in. So you need to average just under a goal a game.
It shows Shearer did it 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, what is important is consistency over the season.
Yeah.
So Kevin Phillips was a good striker, but he did it 1 or 2 seasons, and that was it. And
he always scored goals.
Yeah, but he wasn't as prolific as some of the other ones that you mentioned. Okay. Not every season.
But Alan Shearer doing it 3 times. One is amazing. One thing I will say is there was more games in those first few seasons in the Premier League. Yeah, I think 40. There was 22 teams or.
Oh really?
But anyway, so it just shows what a striker he was. But this year you've got Harry Kane's on 24, Salah's on 23, and Aguero's on 21. So, and with it being, we still have start of March. They've all got a massive chance.
10 games. 10 games to do it. I can't see Harry Kane not scoring 6 league goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I want to say, 24, 23, 21, who's going to get there first? It's going to be Harry Kane.
I think we've got...
Your running's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, our running's good. We've got 2 tough games, Man City and Chelsea. Those are games that you might consider us dropping points. Chelsea away, Man City at home. But Salah's on fire. Liverpool's running isn't too bad either. So it will be a shootout between the 2.
Do you think Aguero's too many away? He's 3 off Kane. So he's still got
No, it's
9.
not too many, because it's only like a hat-trick in one game and he's level. You know what I mean? It's
the amount of goals that Man City are scoring.
Yeah, exactly. So no, he's not out, but he's got more to do, obviously. I think both of them will get there. It just how quickly.
So what? You think all 3 will get there?
No, I think Salah and Kane will get there. But I think Kane. We've got Huddersfield at home. Not the strongest defensively. You wouldn't be surprised if Kane got 2 or maybe even another hat-trick.
Yeah.
So, and then you're halfway there. So they're both of those forwards are so good this year. Salah's been an absolute revelation, like an incredible forward. He's not even playing up front, although he does play a kind of system with Firmino where they're constantly swapping and moving around. So they kind of don't have that off the shoulder striker number 9 like Harry Kane is. They play a false 9 with Firmino. So
we were chatting with Paul earlier in the week, Paul from the Redmen TV, and he was talking about how we asked him, "Is the team built around Salah?" And he sort of said, "Kind of," and a huge reason for that is Firmino. He said if there was Harry Kane playing in that same team, then Salah wouldn't be scoring the same amount of goals because he would be the focal point of the team.
No,
Firmino allows it to be Salah.
So when Harry Kane's been injured in the past, we've often played Son as a false nine, and then you see a different type of football movement, and Dele Alli takes up the role as what Salah has. Not as well, obviously, different kind of player.
He's on his arse all the time.
Yeah. What do you think of the Spurs being called like a one-man team?
A one-man team?
Yeah, like the Harry Kane team.
Who's saying that?
Lots
Oh, right.
People, yeah. Even
that's nonsense.
Pep Guardiola.
I mean, that's nonsense. Because when Kane doesn't play, Son scores goals. I don't think his form's dipped dramatically when he's been injured, Kane.
No, he's been fit most of this season.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you're allowed to have good players. You're allowed to have a best player.
Yeah.
I think he's your best player.
It's the thing, like you look at Salah and you think Suarez and stuff, and when someone, it's like out of jealousy. Like I when they had Suarez and how good he was, no matter how debatable person, but he was great, and you think, oh, one man team, Arsenal with Henry and Van Persie, he's a like tray carrying 10 mugs kind of thing. But why wouldn't you build a focus around your best player? It makes
Totally.
Yeah,
Completely. Why do you think when there's been so few teams and players that have had a striker that's been able to score 30 goals in a season, why do you think there's a real possibility that 3 are going to do it this season? Do you think?
I think 2 will do it.
But but for 2 to do it when it's only been done 9 times by 6 different people, it means it's not happening a lot, right? No. So when you look at the Premier League as a whole, do you think is there something there where the gap's getting bigger and bigger, or are defences getting worse? No. Are there more goals being scored?
No, world-class players don't come along very often. You know, you have to be world-class to score 30 goals, like league goals in a season.
But Kane's come through the youth squad. Salah wasn't wanted at Chelsea. These are...
Yeah, no, Salah's needs to prove that he's world-class, whatever that is, by doing it over 2 or 3 seasons. Kane has done it consistently for 3 years now. You would expect Kane is good enough to be named in all of those, alongside all of those players that have done it. Out of the ones that didn't do it, probably Kane you'd say is a better striker, or at least more consistent. So, you know, he should be doing it. There's no reason why he shouldn't. Salah would be a more impressive thing because of where he's come from. You know, great in Italy, but how good is that league? You know, struggled at Chelsea and did it in Switzerland with Basel. To come to Liverpool in his first season and hit 30 goals would be incredible. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. So yeah, let's know who out of these 3. Actually, final question: if you could only have one of those 3 in your team, which one would you pick?
I'd pick Kane, of course. If I weren't, what would you? You should. You're better placed to answer that question.
Do you know who I'd take? I'd actually have. It's tough, isn't it? Because Aguero's 85 minutes per goal. His minutes per goal is better, and I guess he's playing for a better team.
You could have more.
I love Aguero.
You could have more.
Kane's got the problem of being English, so I look at him and I think, oh, you're not as sexy as Aguero.
Yeah.
Salah has been totally frightening though this season.
Yeah.
So I'd probably take Salah, because I think you could find someone else to do the rest. And actually, I don't think Tottenham are a one-man team at all. I think they create chances for him. I don't think Kane's great at getting that snapshot off and taking opportunities, but he does get chances created for him as well. So
yeah, he does. But
I would take Salah. That is my decision. Who would you take? Let us know in the comments below. Still to come, those were the days. What else have I got here? Soldiers lost in battle, and a little surprise, and Room 69. Should we do those were the days? I haven't got the music, lads. I've lost it, but I'll get it another week.
Those were the days.
Stops there, doesn't it? Oscar Tidd. Those were the days, in the spirit of Mark Viduka, who we had on Those Were the Days a couple of weeks ago. Some mid-noughties players that I miss watching on Match of the Day. Morten Gamst Pedersen.
Oh, yeah.
Had a rocket, didn't he?
Absolute wonderful effort.
Yeah. I remember he's... where's he from? Sweden?
No.
Denmark.
Yeah.
And he was good. He was... he's left-footed, but he was initially right-footed. Stat nugget.
He's ambidextrous.
He's now ambidextrous. Yeah.
Is that right for legs? Is that for hands? So. Ambidextrous hands. Anyway,
2-footed.
I always wanted him. Spurs were linked with him for years and years and years. And it never happened, and obviously turned out
sort of faded away, didn't he?
Very much so. He had a couple of purple patches for Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like the equivalent QPR equivalent of Matt Phillips, where he's actually probably not that great a footballer, but because he scores worldies, and that's the only time you see him, you think he's decent.
Do you know another one I really always wanted when he was at Blackburn? Junior Hoylett.
Junior Toilet.
Yeah.
That didn't. I was excited when we got him as well. Didn't work out. Now Cardiff smashing it up, so that's annoying. JJ Okocha.
Wow.
The most exciting. What a player.
Yeah, most exciting footballer I've ever seen. I think he was just probably wasn't the most effective at times. That's probably why he didn't kind of reach the upper echelons. But he had the talent to do things that you couldn't even dream of. He had this weird rolled the ball and then dummied the ball, and it just sent defenders the wrong way.
And I don't know if teams have this as much now, but they certainly used to. You'd have this old timer who'd been there and done it, and he'd come and play for a mid-table team and just be class.
Yeah.
Like two guys.
Campo.
Djorkaeff was at Bolton as well.
Allardyce had a knack of doing that, didn't he?
Yeah, we had Ray Wilkins. He was amazing. And speaking of incredible, exciting players, Titus Bramble. You know, the Bramble Gamble, as me and the lads called it, if you put him in your fantasy team. John Allen Boomsong, Shola Amiobi, and Yossi Benayoun, who's a good, tidy player.
Yossi Benayoun did a lot of good stuff.
More on tidy players later in the show. Saurav Palmer as well, those were the days. Fan zone commentary on Sky Sport.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who used to do that for Spurs.
Really?
I know Crackers really well, and another guy I don't know as well, Gascoigne. But there's some great stuff, Jamie Gascoigne. It's great, some great footage, especially when Spurs equalised 4-4 and he jumps on the Gooner's back. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't sit in a room and watch the North London derby with another Arsenal fan, just me and him. I couldn't do it. It's like the worst scenario in my life. Absolutely couldn't. I wouldn't even enjoy celebrating. The great thing about scoring in derbies is you have the people around you and you're all over each other. Limbs. Gets limsy. You can't get limsy in a studio while looking at a little monitor.
True. The greatest fan zone, of course, was the FA Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea. And you had Bradley Walsh. It was after Soccer AM, glory is. Bradley Walsh and Tim Lovejoy went and did it.
Yeah.
And they were commentating. And then Lovejoy went, "Oh no, they're on the break. Oh, don't worry, it's only Ray Parlour." And then Ray Parlour...
I've never seen that. Is that on the internet?
It must be.
I'd love to see that.
Oh, thank God, it's only Ray Parlour.
I remember the goal.
And he curled it in the top corner, and he got absolutely destroyed for it. Incredible. Soldiers Lost in Battle time? Yeah. Let's do it. Soldiers Lost in Battle. New music for this as well, because somehow I've deleted it. If you've got any options for the music that we should use, then let us know. But we're going with this for this week. Quite dark. This is one long story this week.
Yeah.
See how it goes. See how it fits with the music. Soldiers Lost in Battle is when you've missed a game of football. Is there? Alright, I'll see what I can do. Is when you've missed a game of football. It's difficult, but it's important to share. We need more Soldiers Lost in Battle stories, so let us know in the comments below. This is from a guy called James, not me, because he's only got 10 subscribers and I've got 1,000. Help top. New channel, go subscribe. As a young lad, aged 15, I was staying with my mum for the summer, and as a raving football fan, I had nothing to do but play Call of Duty Black Ops. I had decided it would be a good idea to watch every game of the first African World Cup, just to say that I'd done it. I'd watched every game of... I'd watched every game of the World Cup. Unfortunately, at the age of 15, I was unable to visit a betting shop. I really wanted to back an outsider just to make things more interesting while watching. Thankfully, my favourite auntie gladly put my bet on for me. Age 15, my only means of income was pocket money. My bet was Ghana to win the World Cup, £10 at 100 to 1, £1,000 return. After beating Serbia 1-0 in their first game, I was confident they would pick up enough points in their two remaining games. A 1-1 draw with Australia, followed by a 1-0 defeat against Germany in their final group game, saw them through the group in second place. In the round of 16, Ghana faced the United States. Goals from Kevin Prince Boateng and an extra time winner from Asamoah Gyan, do you remember him? Sent them through to the quarterfinals, winning the game 2-1. In the quarterfinal, it was a really tense occasion. You could spilt the tension in that living room with a knife. Ghana had done well to even get out of their group, let alone through the round of 16. The match against Uruguay was finally poised at 1-1, and just at the end of extra time, when you think the game is up, Ghana have a free kick fired into the box. It's like pinball in there. I'm up on my feet, ready to celebrate, and it's cleared off the line. It's still alive, and it's going in! No! The cheating fucking bastards. The Uruguay player, who at this point I have absolutely zero knowledge of since the World Cup, Luis Suarez handballing a certain goal, pushing it away off the line with his hand. To say I was outraged would have been an understatement. I just had to hope Gian, my new footballing hero, could convert the penalty. But no! He blazed it over the bar. Off the bar, sorry. No composure at the death of the game, just when you fucking need some. Suarez even had the cheek celebrating the miss in the tunnel, for fuck's sake. This fucking little C-word. The buck-toothed horse looking cheating mother something. Hang on, I'm worried the music's going to go into an advert. No, we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Back to the story.
Brilliant.
Where are we? Ghana lost the shootout, and I'd been cheated out of supporting this team in a semi-final against Holland. Unfortunately, the heartbreak for me didn't end there, though. Just 6 months later, in January 2011, the team I'd supported all my life, Liverpool, signed the little buck-toothed cheating bastard, Luis fucking Suarez. Of course, I had to support him. Seeing the team I'm obsessed with warm up into supporting the racist shit was particularly hard, though, and to be honest, it was embarrassing too. To be fair though, Suarez was probably one of the best players to ever play for Liverpool, and in my lifetime he definitely scored the best goals. Ultimately he's a C-word, but in this case, and for many Liverpool fans, you just hate to love him, but he's a C. But he was our C. The fucker went on to... It's very, very sweary, less sweary. The fucker went on to sign for Barca just 2.5 years later, along with that snake Coutinho last week. Still, I miss Lucas Leiva more than I'll ever miss him. Handing in a transfer request the day before our first game of season. Dickhead, he's writing a lot here. Why didn't we just sign Asamoah Gyan after the World Cup for the 30 million Sunderland paid for him? Damn, I've wrote a lot. I really hope this makes the show. I love the podcast. Keep it up.
Wow.
Thanks for the effort.
Well done, Jim.
Appreciated.
Very sweary.
Very sweary.
Yeah.
That is tough. You know, you're supporting a team. I like the idea behind getting.
So is this
Ghana.
is Soldiers Lost in Battle now just bad stories related to football, or is it about times you missed out on great moments? Are we opening it up?
It's injustice.
Injustices.
It's football injustices.
Right.
It's when it's the football's let.
So there's no soldiers getting lost anywhere then. It's just football injustices. But with I just want to be clear. Maybe this is a conversation for off the pod.
A lot of scope there. I mean, yeah. What are the rules of a Soldiers Lost in Battle? I don't think we should put rules in it because we don't get enough in. So let's just move forward.
Give us your stories, write them in.
Yeah, do it now
in the comments below or email us.
Indeed. Let's do room 69 whilst we're on that sour note.
Yeah.
Flav, this came from someone in the comments and I've forgotten your name. I'm sorry. It starts with a C. You know who you are. And he said you should make room 69 a thing. Room 69 is a place where people that Flav, who likes to create this idea in his mind where people can go give up on life.
Not give up on life. They should go on just disappear.
Right.
Though go on, treat your family right. Treat your family right. Like, spend all the money you've made out of football.
Treat your family right.
Treat your family right. All right. Take your kids on holiday.
Yeah.
If they're older, treat them to holiday. Buy them a car. Do whatever you want. Just do it away from us. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So we thought
they're stealing a living.
Yeah. I just think there's. I think we're looking for balance with this podcast, and I think I'm maybe pushing a bit too much positivity into your faces. So let's readdress the balance.
Yeah.
With room 69.
Yeah.
Haven't got a jingle for it yet.
No.
Maybe think of something. If anyone's got any ideas, let us know in the comments.
All right.
Who is the first inductee into room 69?
Well, there's loads. I've stuck loads in there last week, so I'm not going to say any of them. But just to recap, David Moyes got to go in there. Pardew's going in there.
Don't blow your load.
Joe Barton,
One
get in
this
there.
every week.
Get in there.
Joe Barton.
I'm not going to do the same ones again. I think I'll do new ones. Yeah, Joe, get in there. What are you doing? We're doing everyone's head in now. All right. Sam Allardyce.
Sam Allardyce.
Get him in.
Wow. People who are a fan of yours, Flavs, they'll know for sure.
Yeah.
They'll know for certain. The affection that you've previously shown Sam Allardyce.
Made me look like a fool, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, he's
linking in with he used to link in with every job.
Yeah, but now I've seen the error in my ways, and I don't like having to do that. So he needs to get in the bin. Get in room 69.
Who's your guy now that you put forward for jobs?
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Paul Lambert. No, he's another one. He's another one. But all right, Sam Allardyce. So the thing is that ultimately, I think that it's run its course, and you know what Sam Allardyce is going to do. He'll go to every job he can possibly go to. He's managed everyone pretty much,
right,
apart from the big clubs.
Right.
He got England done one game, 100% no win ratio, and it's time for Sam Allardyce to walk away from the game.
Take a seat on the table.
Enjoy your retirement. You've got plenty of money, loads of money.
What?
various revenue streams.
Okay, so he's giving up. He's disappearing. In
Gone.
this room 69, what sort of snacks would we need for Sam?
He'd be interested in. I reckon he'd have a meatloaf and a Battenberg cake.
Right, simple.
So that would
What's
be
he washing that down with?
He's washing that down with
Some form of ale.
Oh yeah, we can't talk about ale on this
Can we
pod,
not?
but no.
Drink
but
responsibly.
just don't drink.
Don't drink.
Leave it. The I reckon
Iron brew.
a
Brown colours.
Lucozade, but tropical crush.
Utter.
So that's when he goes in there, he sits down. He's got his Battenberg cake.
Yeah.
He's got his meatloaf, and he's got
Just too many
Lucozade, citrus crush,
Lovely.
or tropical crush.
Let us know your room 69 entrance in the comments below. So many reasons to get involved in the comments.
Yeah.
This is going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about Stephen Davis briefly. Reaches 300.
Fulham, Steve.
Was it Fulham?
Where is he now?
Was it Fulham? He's at Southampton. Been there for years. Club captain.
Whatever.
He reaches 300 Premier League appearances, and I saw that, and I thought, well done, Stephen. Congratulations. And I've always thought he's a good player, right?
I did.
Scrabbling around. There's nothing on him. Well,
Is there nothing on him?
There's nothing on him.
What am I gonna talk
Fulham,
about?
Aston Villa. No, but what it made me think about those players who just plodded along, lovely, lovely men,
Just getting on with the game.
just getting on,
not
playing,
causing any
games.
problems for anybody.
Yeah, and in the all-time list of appearances, Gareth Barry sitting on top.
Another one.
651. He's one of those
Gets
just plodding
on with the
along.
game.
Plodding along. Gary Speed, rest in peace, was one of those players. Probably a bit more quality than that.
Yeah,
Emil
he's
Heskey
quality.
up there as well.
Well,
I mean, different position.
different opinion, but just got on with it. I understand.
The plod along centre midfielder of Stephen Davis. I just thought it needed a shout out in the one for the weekend pod.
Fair play and good, well done. Look, I've always been relatively impressed with him. You know, he never stood out hugely, but he does a lot of good work.
One of those players who did plod along and did great things, Stephen Pienaar, has retired.
Has he really?
He retired last night. Very upsetting. Great career he had, but it was time for him to move on. 35 years of age. Played for Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, he did.
Played for Ajax, Everton, Spurs.
Yeah.
You had him on loan, didn't you?
He wasn't great.
Didn't score many goals. I thought he scored more goals than
I
this,
remember
but
one
he didn't.
specific goal where he ran through against Arsenal and just dinked it over the keeper. It was beautiful.
I think there must be a lot of players that say they're getting introduced as a pundit or whatever. When they play for about 5 or 6 teams, people often pick the kind of best ones. But imagine if you... And I don't want to have a go at Sunderland because they are a massive club and it's shit what's going on with them at the moment. But for him, you go, Stephen Pienaar here, let's welcome him in. In he comes. Former Ajax, Borussia Dortmund, Spurs, Everton, Sunderland. And when it gets to Sunderland, you just go...
Yeah.
Just leave that one.
Leave
Although
that.
saying that as well, that is a bit of a pet hate for me. When they don't, if they definitely play for QPR, I'll put that on the list. Anyway, I'm rambling.
You're missing to the point though. The point of it is to elevate him, not to reduce his position. If you're going to impress a crowd, you don't add QPR to a list of elite football clubs, do you?
Do you know when we're in the Premier League, they started to put QPR in again?
Yeah.
Like we're irrelevant, annoying.
Yeah.
But the main
do you know
reason
what, he lost his power when he cut his hair. When he
did,
had
yeah,
when he had
Samson,
like dreads or
right?
braids, he was great. Yeah, Samson. Yeah. When he cut his hair, he just become an ordinary human being. Which,
yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it was,
It happens to like Andre Agassi. That happened.
Yeah.
But the main reason, of course, I brought up Stephen Pienaar is because I thought of him and I thought, bloody nice South African player. In the same vein as the plodding along thing, it made me think. Let's look back at some of the best South African players that the Premier League's ever seen. Lovely. With a bit of South African music. Let's do this, huh? This will cheer you up.
Bit loud.
Bit like too loud? I thought this is random. But when I started to think about these South African players, it put a smile on my face. How did the music? So Stephen Pienaar, we salute you, mate. Great career. You crack on with the rest of it.
All right, go on, give us the others.
So Benny McCarthy.
Benny McCarthy.
Lovely player, lovely smile. Played for Blackburn, Porto, Champions League winner, of course.
Yep.
But did all right at Blackburn. Blackburn had a few. They had Aaron Mokoena. Remember him?
No.
Defensive midfielder, built like a brick. Shit out. Not the greatest player, but he did a job. He put a smile on my face. What, you not liking that?
It's just still a bit loud.
Is it? Mark Fish. Remember Mark Fish?
Mark Fish, yeah.
Charlton defence.
Yeah.
What was the
Bolton.
other one? No, but the back four, Charlton. Young Fish cost a fortune. Remember that? Remember that? Puts a smile on your face. That's what South African players do. Lucas Radebe.
Lucas Radebe was a very good player in his time.
Very good player. And I remember when Who is that girl? That song. What's her name? There's no place I'd rather be. I remember thinking, I bet rather be. Wish she'd been around now. Because that would definitely be a quality chant that they could use for him. Good player for Leeds United when they had that wicked 1996 kit. And last one I wanted to talk about, Sean Bartlett.
Yep.
Scored a screamer for Charlton.
So what about Quinton Fortune?
Oh yeah, Quinton Fortune. Who?
Ex-Man United.
I remember him like that was a weird one, wasn't it? He just sort of turned up. Quinton Fortune. He started playing like left back or left wing. I didn't know why he was there. I felt a bit like he was a competition winner.
You missed out a good one.
A good South African player.
Yeah, Mabu Zayla at Spurs. He scored 1 goal. I think he played 8 games, and it was an absolute rocket against Leicester City.
Puts a smile on your face.
Yeah,
that's what South African players do.
I'll show you the link on YouTube, the video on YouTube.
That's nearly it. Questions for Flames. We'll put it out on Twitter.
Oh yeah, let me get my phone.
If you want to ask us questions, I'll put our tweet out most weeks, but you can put them in the comments below. Questions for Flames. Put it on.
So
leave that rumbling?
No, get rid of that. I had an absolute banger on Twitter. And when I say banger, I nicked something off Reddit and put the word
Don't admit that.
solid. I mean, it's clear that I didn't shoot it. It was TV footage.
Yeah.
Actually,
whoa.
But what I've got now is
don't get a copyright strike. What?
I got major accounts, like football banter accounts, giving me credit for it. It's clear that I haven't shot the video. Why are you giving me credit for this video? It's
it's palming on if there were any ramifications.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Right.
That's what they're doing there.
Okay. Well, fine. I'll take that.
But yeah, if you need advice from Flames, you need questions from Flames.
What's the worst that can happen to me?
Ask you to take it down.
This is the area of the podcast where you ask for advice from us. It doesn't have to be football related. It could be a relationship advice.
We're struggling to get it off the ground.
But we've got some. Yeah. We've got some. Leave in the comments below as well, because that seems to be where I'm most passionate. The fans of the podcast, not fans of us. We do not have fans. Never ever describe yourself as having fans.
But yeah, shameless plug again. New channel, James Lawrence Alcott. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah. Subscribe.
All right, here's a question for you.
Last one.
Have Luke Rumbelow.
Rumbo.
Have any of you had any bad experience with your fans before? Don't have any fans?
Never any fans. Does he mean your club's fans?
Oh. Can we talk about our fans?
How arrogant is
that?
So
on James's stag do once, which there's some parts of the story that I won't tell you, but there was a guy. I was walking around in what's it called? Where do we go? Hamburg, right? Hamburg, and this guy literally came out of the shadows and went, Flav, like we're in Germany.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, it must be one of your mates from your stag do.
Right, yeah, because people were arriving late. It was on the first
day. Yeah, Flav. And I was like, oh. The guy I didn't even recognise, didn't have a clue. And he was like, Bull Street. And I was like, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. We had like 50,000 subscribers then. You are having a laugh. What do you mean Bull Street? What is this a wind-up? I went, wait, can I come say hello to James? No, you can't. No, you can't.
He's off his face.
Can't come as because he can barely stand right now. So no, you can't. Nice to see you. You're freaking me out. Let's make this end.
And it was like Homer Simpson, wasn't it? It's like that GIF. And he just went back into the bush.
I mean, he's probably watching this. He might be if he knew me and we were in. He might be watching this. So if you are, like, fair play.
Reveal yourself.
It was, yeah. But actually say it was me in the comments. That'd be great. Have you ever had any bad experience with your fans before?
No, I don't have any fans. It's really sad.
Yeah, we definitely don't have fans. It's a wrong. Go and watch EXO. They're the people with
They've
fans.
Got fans, haven't they?
Yeah.
Redmen have got fans.
Show Gang on Twitter, he says, I hope to hear a fire rap this week. # might drop. Have you got any raps? Can you do that?
I love it. I want to hug it. It's Rap Nuggets. Rap Nuggets is that nice as shit.
It's quite hard that rap.
Work on that.
Lachlan Wright, he says, what clubs do you think will be able to crack the current top 6, if any?
I think I don't want to burst the bubble, but I think it's done, isn't it?
It's.
I mean, Everton. Maybe there'll be teams that might do it. Everton have got the potential to do it. There are clubs that have. Do you know what? If Newcastle could get an awesome owner, they have everything they need to become huge.
Yeah, I think the problem is like crack the top 6. It used to be crack the top 4, and now it is a top 6. So there is some hope. Any one of those top 6 might mount a title challenge.
Yeah.
It does. I don't take any glee or satisfaction in the fact that my club's a part of that top 6. there isn't
bullshit.
No, when I'm not winding you up, I'm being honest, right? It isn't a good thing for football. It's not a good thing for the enjoyment of following your own club if there's an elite club, a group of clubs that can't be challenged. It's not great. It's supposed to be a competition. There's a reason. Part of the reason why Kane and Salah have found it so easy scoring this year, perhaps, is the fact that the standard between the top 6 and the rest of the league is so great. It's huge. I'd say the standard between Arsenal and Man City is great, but the standard between Arsenal and the rest of the league is significant, and that's down to the amount of money and how good they've been at branding, global branding, and bringing money into their football club. And what you've seen, unfortunately, is that the more money you spend, the more money you have, the much more likely it is that you're going to be successful, and that really is a shame.
Totally. That's what. Two things. One, the cups are important. That's why they're important, because you're not getting in the top 6. No one's doing it, and if you're doing it, you're doing it for one season, and it's a dream like Leicester. But those cups, I don't mess about with those cups. You've got a real opportunity to have your day with those. So that's why I'm always quite passionate about the cups. Second thing is Champions League playoffs. Said it before, I'll say it again. Move it to have playoffs for the Champions League. It would make it amazing, and it would make teams that are, because if the 7th place got into that Champions League playoff, it makes team 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Give it more of a go.
I think that's a cracking idea. Absolutely cracking idea. Yeah. And the loser gets the loser out of it gets the Europa League spot in the final. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Easy.
Absolutely great idea. Yeah.
So one more.
We've got time for one more. I think. What time? Okay. Plum Juice. He says, "What's the most humiliating match day experience that you've ever had?" And he said he's unfollowed Flav. Oh. Is he? Let me check. Yes, he has.
Sad, isn't it? Yeah. Most embarrassing moment as a fan.
Oh, he's a gooner, that's why. Didn't want you anyway, mate.
I walked into the women's toilets once.
Oh, really?
And I was there for ages, so confused. I was about 10. And I was in there, I was like, this smells good. for a start. And then I was like, where? What? I was just like...
Yeah.
Imagine being CCTV, I was just like... And then it flicked in my head. And then as I came out, a woman was coming in. I just felt mortified because I was young as well.
What about when you caught eyes with someone waiting in the line to use the poo
cue shame? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean that's difficult. That's more on him than me, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of something funny, but I haven't got anything really. I'm a cool guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wear 2 jackets.
Yeah, and I hold that element of cool at all times. Mm-hmm. So it's very tricky to catch me off guard where I look like an idiot.
Nice. What a lovely way to end. One for the Weekend podcast with Fan League. Links in the description. Go check out the app. Go play on the One for the Weekend League, and do that by adding me as a friend after you click the links in the description.
Yeah.
We need Soldiers Lost in Battle. We need Room 69.
Can you give some good stat nuggets that I might enjoy?
Some stat up lines. Get your stat up lines for Flav as well, and get all your thoughts in the comments. Most importantly, we get more views than we have subscribers, so something ain't up. So move your mouse, click subscribe.
I mean, as long as that continues, does it matter?
Guess so, but something's not right.
Everyone says click subscribe, so
do that.
Do that then. Everyone does. So
see you next week.